rainy day. Happy Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. We're going to point our toes forward, so you get the big toe side of your foot over the little toe side, the little toe side of your foot under the big toe side of your foot. Sit right up on your sits bones. A couple circles with your shoulders, so you know how they sit. Get tight in your neck, your shoulders. Bring the backs of your wrists to your knees. Touch your longest fingers to your thumbs and close your eyes. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And pull your chin, your jawbone in just a little bit so you release the base of your neck. Can you press down with your feet, press down with your knees, press down with your sits bones, and lift the back of your body up? Your breath is through your nose, in and out. When you come to a new inhalation, open your eyes. I'm going to have you interlace your fingers behind your back. Now, if that brings the tops of your arms forward, your shoulders forward, just put your hands right. But you'd like to lift your chest. You'd like to drop the tops of your arms, your shoulder blades down without pushing this forward. So if you're tight, your hands may not even come away from the ground, away from your hips at all. Still got your feet engaged. Just holding the base of your breastbone back. You want to lift your chin, you want to widen your collarbones. Long, slow breaths. All right, and then releasing your arms. We're going to bring your right hand to the floor. And bring your left hand up toward the ceiling. Now lengthen up. So don't collapse already. Don't. All right, so when you're ready and you come out, we're going to bend the spine this time, so this right side will shorten, the left side will lengthen. Tuck your chin, bring your arm towards your cheekbone towards your arm, hold the weight of your head. Press down with your outer feet, press down with your knees, press down with your shoulders. Lift yourself up and come out over. Don't exaggerate it, just if these right ribs fell backward, could they come forward a bit? When you inhale, you come back up. We'll bring your left hand down, your right hand up. Now use your feet. All of this starts at your feet. So that when you lift up, and you're going to look at the space from the pubic bone, navel, breastbone, throat, third eye center, you're going to curve that. So opening up all this right side of your body. Hold the weight of your head. Don't let your head fall. Press down with your knees. Press down with your sits bones. Use your buttock muscles. And see that coming out a little bit. Weight of your head. When you inhale, you come back up. Now roll your shoulders. All right, we're going to come backward. So as you bring your hands behind you, point your fingers towards your hips. Now, this isn't a forward. This isn't a forward. This is all backward. Use the front side of the spine. Use your thumbs. Spread your fingers out. Push down with your feet. Second toes forward. Push down with your knees. Down with your hands. Lift yourself up. Remember, the base of your ribs is a backward. The base of your neck is a backward. And you don't want to collapse that. You bring your elbows in. Long, slow breaths. Use your feet. And then when you inhale, you lift yourself back up. You're going to walk one sit bone and we're going to come forward. You bring your thumbs to your top of your sacrum. Get your feet to work. Then when you start coming forward, you want the sacrum to come up and forward, not down and backward. You want to keep your thumbs on your sacrum. You want to put your hands behind you. You want to bring your hands out in front of you. Release the weight of your head. Release the back of your neck, the base of your neck. Use your feet. Use your thighs. Inhale, lift yourself up. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Widen your fingers, longest fingers forward, thumbs inward, not flat hands. We're going to take the right foot back. Now use the quad muscles, use the glutes. Hold your shoulders back. So when you lift your right leg up, not your hip, it's an internal, roll into the big toe side of your foot. Then open your chest, bring your pubic bones backward, your collarbones forward. When you exhale, bring your knee in. Now your hips go backward, the back of your head, neck come forward. Hold on to it, breathe, breathe, breathe. One more. When you inhale, you come back up, not your hip. And you get the back muscles to work, and you get this left foot to press down. And when you exhale, you stretch the back of your body, push through your hands, and then come back. Child's pose. Feel your breath. Long, slow breath. All right, we're going to come the other side. So as you come over and again onto your hands, use widen your fingers. Spaces in your palms. Hold your shoulder back, tuck your tummy in. The base of the breastbone, these lower ribs are held backward. When you take your left foot back, and you start lifting your left leg up, can you use the back muscles? Can you use the quad muscles? Can you find your calf muscles? This bottom leg has to work as well. So keep breathing. So you take your pubic bones backward, you bring your collarbones forward, hold the tops of your ribs backward. When you're ready and you exhale, and you're breathing all this while, you bring the knee in. So now you're stretching the back of your body, tuck your chin right in toward the notch of your collarbones. When you inhale next, you'd open it up again. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And then one more. Stretching your back. Use this right foot. When you come back, child's pose, rest. And move around. Right. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Can you get an internal, imagine you press out through your heels. You don't have to move it, you put 7 toes forward. You don't have to move them out, but feel the energy at the inner and the outer ankles, the inner and outer heels, inner thighs. You walk your feet forward. Now, so how are you going to get up? You can use your hands if you need to use your hands, but what if you use your quads and what if you use your buttock muscles to bring your hips up? I think that's how the muscles work to move the bones. We're going to do triangle pose to your right. Front heel in line with the middle of the back foot. This back foot, your left foot, needs to have an angle in it. Now level off your hips. Stretch your arms out. Stretch your fingers, stretch your toes. Some people say stand on your own 2 feet. I'm going to say feel the ground, feel your mat, feel what's beneath you, feel with your feet. So don't let your feet, if you've got socks on, take your socks off. Get your inner thighs to work, get your buttock muscles to work, especially this left one. When you then come into your triangle pose, use this left hand, this right hand. Open up your left chest. Now, don't let your head hang. If you need to turn your face down, stretch your neck. Don't turn your face forward. If it's okay to turn your face up, but hold the weight of your head. Inhale, come back up. We'll come the other side. Arches in your feet. Pull your legs in. Can you get your inner thighs? You get the buttock muscles to work. You want to move the base of the spine. You want to move the base of your hips. So you have to use the muscles that manage those bones, those body parts. So get your feet. When you're ready, and you come to your left side. You can push down here, you can pull back here. If your hips have gone backward, if these left ribs have gone forward or backward, could you kind of level off your chest? Again, don't let the weight of your head fall. Tuck your chin and deepen your throat, so the base of your neck is open, big. Yeah, so use your thighs, use your body muscles, use your abdominals, lift yourself back up. We're going to do it again. Do you feel your legs? How's your breath? Alright, so this time, same thing. Hold your legs up, get these muscles, the buttock muscles, the abdominal muscles, the leg muscles to work so that when you come out to your right side, now, if you're lower rib, say the same stuff again and again. It's easy to watch this, to let this come, watch it. You want that to come down. You want the third side to this triangle is your spine. Breathe. Now use the muscles, press into your feet, feel with your feet, use your thighs, use your buttocks, use your abdominals to lift yourself back up. Alright, we'll go this, the left side second time. Shoulders loose, arms loose, neck loose. Alright. So when you're ready, pull it in, pull it in, pull it. Use your abdominals, use your buttock muscles, because that's how you can manage the base of your spine, the lumbar part of your spine. Pull the weight of your head. Pull your legs in. Can you lengthen the hamstring in the back of this left thigh? What about the tops of your feet? What about the fronts of your ankles? Use your muscles. When you inhale, you lift yourself back up. Third time, right side. This one will be the very best. If you want to bring your left arm around behind you this time, would that help you with this left shoulder? You can do it this way if you want. Use your legs, pull them in. Get your thigh muscles to hug the bones. You want your muscles to hug your bones so that you can manage, you can move your bones. Lengthen your spine. Tuck your chin in. Pull the base of your breastbone backward. If your ribs are going backward, if your hip, the top of this thigh is going backward, bring it in. Inhale, come back up. Use your muscles. Your left side, third time. Then bring your right arm around behind. Gives you a different feel through this shoulder. Use your legs, use your body muscles, use your abdominals to move your pelvic bones. And you know what your pelvic bones are. You know how this hip socket looks. So you don't go and look at. So you want to open up across here. So your breath can come up into here. So there's no pressure on your lungs, no pressure on your heart. And inhale, come back up. You get your feet back, jump your feet back. And then bend your knees and hang down on your legs. Let the weight of your hip fall right down. And move around, move around. How's your breath? If your breath rate has increased, can you slow it down? We're going to come back up. We're going to do tree pose. We're going to do it one time. You need the wall, go to the wall. Try not to rest your heel on your knee. You don't want to put sideways pressure on your knee. The knee joint can stand a lot of pressure, but it doesn't have to. When you bring your hands in prayer pose, turn your longest fingers toward the ceiling, drop your wrist toward the line of your elbows, perhaps. Relax your shoulders. And reach your wall. Your hip bones come in. You're using your buttock muscles, both sides. If you're going to, you bring your arms out and around and up. Can you feel your calf muscle on this standing leg? Can you feel the calf muscle on this lifted leg? Feel with your feet. When you stretch your right up, go down through your hips, come through the back of your neck. When you exhale, you bring your arms around, hands come back. And shake your legs, run in circles with your feet. Right, toes forward. Track the center of your kneecap with your second toe. Second side. Maybe you have to keep your toes on the ground. Front hip bones come in. Use the abdomen. Use your glute muscles. Can you find the calf muscles on both legs? This front thigh, both the front thigh muscles, the quads. If you're going to bring your arms out and around and up, when you bring your hands together above the crown, can you bring your thumbs, your elbows, the base of your throat backward, your lower ribs, the base of your breastbone backward. This is an inward. And inhale, stretch it right up. Exhale, coming back. Supporting the front side of the spine always. Run circles with your feet. We're going to do warrior one 3 times. Look on this one. You want a big enough step. Now if you pull your legs in, you level off the tops of your thighs, and then you pull this in so you're not collapsing into here. You're supporting all of that from here. And when you bend your front knee, you don't want your knee to go past your heel. So when you bend your front knee, bend your back knee, lift your heel off the ground, bend both legs. Now, when you come back, and raise your arms, stretch up. This is a backward. The lower ribs, the base of the breastbone. It's a backward. When you exhale, push down with your hands, and then lift yourself back up. We're going to come around the other side. It's easy for me. It's easier when I watch people, it's been a long time, to let this come forward. This is a backward. And do the test. Let it fall forward, feel what happens here. Pull it backward, feel the ease that it brings to you. So when you bend your left knee, bend the other knee so that front knee might come past, but bend your back knee. So when you push down, you know where the power is. Use your glutes. When you're ready to inhale, you raise your arms. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And when you're ready to exhale, you push down with your feet. Feel with your feet. Feel the ground beneath you. Push down with your hands. And inhale, come back up. Number one, you're using your body muscles. Come around this like first side, second time. Don't forget to breathe. Can you find your calf muscles because you're feeling with your feet? Feel with your feet. Good. Everything starts at your feet. I've said it 5,000 times. When you bend your front knee, give yourself enough space so that you can, the hip bone, the thigh bones move inside the hip. The left leg backward, these buttock muscles have to work to take the thigh bone backward and raise your arms. All right, when you exhale, push down with your feet, push down with your hands, drop the tops of your thighs, then inhale, come back up. Come around the other side. Our hip bones, lower ribs, base of the neck. When you bend your left knee second time, the front of your right thigh, the glutes, the abdominals, and you raise your arms. You could lift your chin, but don't collapse the base of your neck. Keep the weight of the head lifting, then inhale, come on. We'll come to the right side third time. This one will be the best. Find your calves because you're looking for arches in your feet. Feel with your feet, widen your toes, stretch them out. And bring your hands to your hips. If that helps, thumbs down, thumbs to the back, thumbs down, fingers up. It's easy to let, for me. So when you pull energy backward through your right foot, get your calf muscle, get your hamstrings, level off your hips, raise your arms if you're going to. Thumbs backward, little fingers forward, shoulders wide, wide from the base of the neck to the tops of your arms. When you inhale, come back up. Come around the other side. Third time. Find the muscles that move you, find the muscles that support you. Keep track of your breath. So as you put an arch in this left foot, you find your calf muscles, you find your thumb muscles, and you're getting into the glutes, the abdominals. Okay, you need to be able to see some part of your right, your left big toe. What's happening at your back waist, what's happening at your kidneys, the base of your ribs. Then inhale, coming back up. As you get your feet back around, jump your feet back. Try it. Hang down over your legs. Release the weight of your head. Bend your knees if you want to. Move around if you want to. And then coming back up. We do warrior two to the right. Now, find your feet. Feel with your feet. Move your toes around. Feel your feet. Roll from your inside, outside edges of your feet. Level off your hips. You're not cranking this backward. This is an inward. To support the sacrum, to support the tailbone, to support all your internal stuff. So again, as you pull the arch of your right foot, the arch is going to engage your leg. Engage here, engage the glutes, engage the abdominals, and you keep. Now if you're very tight here in the groin and these hip flexors, the knee might want to come forward. So can you roll from the inner side of your foot to the outer side of your foot? This is an inward. Get this inner thigh, these adductors to work both legs. Turn your face. Stretch out through your fingers, but pull the tops of your arms in. Not to hunch your shoulders, but to find the strength in your upper body. When you inhale, you come back up. Take a few breaths, go the other way. Feel with your feet. Then, as you find that arching this in your left foot, Find the calf muscles, both legs. Find the quad muscles, the adductors, the glutes. When you pull energy backward through your left foot, keep your calf muscles. Can you get the calf muscles in both legs to work? The abductors in both legs. It's easy to let the hips tilt. It's easy to let these lower ribs fall. Can you at least think about it, though? I don't know how. I'll put it in there somehow. One day I'll go, oh yeah, relax your tongue. And inhale, you come back up. We're going to come around to your right side second time. So start at your feet. Feel with your feet. We feel things with our hands. Feel things with your feet. Go barefooted outside. When you begin to come into your second time, your right side. What if you brought this left chest away from your right thumb? You get these left glute muscles to work. How else are you going to hold your hips? Long shoulders. Inhale, coming back up. I'll come around the other side. So start at your feet, feel your feet. Lift your toes, widen them. You want to roll back and forth. You want to just practice on the arches. Pull backward from the big toe, base of the big toe to the inner heel. When you come back, second time, your left side. Soften your throat, deepen the base of your throat. Can you get these outer thighs, these abductors to work? To open up through here, maybe. And inhale, you come back up. And roll your shoulders, bend one knee at a time. Third time. Start your feet. Deepen the fronts of your ankles. Fronts of your ankles, the skin on the tops of your feet. Pull it from your toes toward the front of your ankle. So when you bend your left knee, then your right knee again. Get these left buttock muscles working. Bring your left hand down, bring your right hand up. And then just come back into it again. Drop down a half an inch. Inhale, come back. Your left side, third time. Feet, calves, hamstrings, quads, inner outer thigh, glutes. You get this right glute, these right glutes, well, both sides, but you'd like the outside of that foot to roll to the ground, so you lift up through the inner ankle. Then you bring your right hand down, your left hand up. Stretch up all through that whole left side, the entire left side, and then come back. Deepen half an inch. Inhale, come back up. Turning your feet round, put your hands on your hips, jump your feet back. We'll come to the floor, onto your back. Stretch out your spine. Fold your arms, so bring your hands to your shoulders, opposite hand, and then just roll side to side a bit. Alright. So your back is long and broad. Alright. We're going to bring the right leg in, flex your ankle. We'll do some circles with your right foot. Widen your toes, curl your toes, go the other direction. As you hug your right knee toward your chest, lower your chin, shoulder blades. Flex your ankle. Can your left knee stay toward the ceiling? Alright, as you then take your right foot toward the ceiling, I'm going to have you turn your knee and your toes out, like toward 2 o'clock. Now, when you feel what happens in your lower back, in your sacrum, your right hip, when you turn your knee and your toes forward, and we've done that often, feel what happens. So if you're walking around with your toes pointing at 10 and 2, see how tight your lower back's going to be. All right, we're going to lengthen the left leg. You stretch your right arm out, bring your left hand to the outside of your right leg. Now, if you need to bend your knee, bend your knee. As you bring your right leg across, come onto the outside edge of your left foot. Push down through your heel, so the big toe side of your foot's even with bring the little toe side under. That makes it easy. You want to turn your face. Can you keep your collarbones wide? Can you keep that right shoulder on the ground? Stretch your fingers. Tuck your tummy in. Don't forget to breathe. Feel with your feet the space beyond your feet. And we're going to come back up. If you need to bend your knee, if you need to use your hand to get your leg back up, do that. And then bend your legs. Fix your back if it's pinched or crooked. We're going to bring the left leg in. Do some circles. Curl your toes. Stretch your toes. And your right knee stay toward the ceiling. Widen your toes on your right foot, your full foot. All right, then as you take your left foot up, turn it out. Now, is there a narrowing in your lower back? As you turn your leg in, with these adductors to it. Do you need to do it a couple times? We're going to lengthen the right leg. Now again, you modify this flexion, go deep in the fronts of your ankles. Bring your right hand to the outside, bring your left hand out sideways, palm up, hold your shoulders down, tuck your tummy in. So when you start coming over to, bring your left leg over to the right, and turn your face to the left. That right foot, press down and bring your little toe under the big toe side of your foot. Get like this left shoulder to stay down. What happens here? What's happening here? Breathe. What about your right foot? And now whatever you need to do when you come back up, bend your legs, put your feet on the ground, fix your back. And go side to side with your knees. We're going to do half bridge. So you can hold on to your ankles, hold on to your ankles. If that doesn't work for you, hold on to the edges of your mat. Put yourself in the center. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Now, your feet in line with your hips, the tops of your thighs. If you pull energy backward through your feet, not only does it give you an arching foot, but it gets your calf muscles and it gets your hamstrings. Stop. Do it again. And then, give you now as for this in. When you start, when you pull energy backward through your feet and backward through your hands, and you lift your hips up. You tuck one shoulder at a time under. Do you want to interlace your fingers back here? Deepen your throat. Feel with your feet. So we feel with our hands, feel with your feet. Feel the ground beneath you. And then when you exhale, you slowly come back down. We're going to do fish pose. So you would lengthen your legs, point your toes away from you. So again, you're stretching the tops of your feet, the fronts of your ankles. Second toes going away from. Maybe bring your hands down here. If you need to, you want to put your hands under your hips. That's okay. Shoulders are down, shoulders are down. When you're ready, and you start using your arms to lift yourself up, your back and your shoulders. Use your feet. Feel with your feet. Feel the space beyond the soles of your feet. You can keep your hands here. Use your forearms. Pull backward through your thumbs. If you wanted to bring your hands into prayer pose, your fingers would point toward the ceiling like the dorsal fin of the fish. Are you using your body muscles to hold your hips so you're not just bowing your belly, your lumbar spine up? You're managing the whole thing. When you come back down, bend your legs. Feel your breath. Go side to side. Relax your jaw and your tongue. All right. We'll come over onto our tummy. We're going to do locust pose. So you start with your toes pointing backward. So your ankles aren't, you're not letting your inner ankle collapse, your outer ankle collapse. So second toe is straight backward. Longest finger straight backward. Now, so we're going to have to use the glutes. We're going to have to use the quads. Going to have to use the abdominals. Going to have to use your upper back. Keep your chin tucked in. When you start lifting your head at the base of your neck, then your hands, then your legs, base of your neck is long. You can turn your face, but don't fall down in the base of your neck. That's always a backward. You breathing? All right, then exhale, come back down. As your breath. Back bends are for your glandular system. Glands produce hormones. When hormones aren't produced like they're meant to, then things begin to deteriorate. we're going to do cobra. If you want to do locust pose again, you want to do sphinx pose, but you have your forearms. Toes, tops of your feet, calf muscles, quad muscles, glutes, abdominals, have your arms in, and you lift again, base of your neck, base of your neck. If you let your elbows go out sideways, you're going to lose the base of the neck. You're going to lose that C7, T1. It's a backward. Relax your face. Can you feel the stretch there through your groin? Shoulder blades are down, elbows come backward. When you exhale, come back. You want to stay on your tummy? Do you want to come into child's pose? Your choice. You want to move around? We're going to do down dog, up dog. So, a couple times. Turning your toes, line up your hands, no flat hands. Can you get your, if you pull energy, don't move your knees unless you need to line them up with the tops of your thighs. But pull the energy of your legs in so you get all of these muscles to work. Can you find your glute muscles here? When you lift yourself up, pull backward through your thumbs, come backward through your big toes. Get you get the inner thighs to work, the adductor muscles, pull the belly in. Can you get your butt muscles to work? And you're breathing now. Deep in the fronts of your ankles, feel the skin on the tops of your feet. Alright, so we're going to make this upward facing dog. So when you're ready, inhale, you bring your shoulders over your hands. And then you bring your hips down, turn your toes backward. Hug your elbows in, pull your lower ribs in. Using your buttock muscles, using your abdominal muscles, you're using the fronts of the thighs, widen your toes. Feel with the tops of your feet, the palms of your hands. When you exit, going to come back into down dog. Long, slow breaths. Alright, so let's make it dolphin. So when you come down onto your forearms, turn to look towards your thumbs, whether you see them or not. And then tuck your chin in. And then come back up into down dog. Alright, and then we'll come back down. Let's do child's pose. And move around, move around. With your breath. Going to have you bring your arms into goalpost. No. Pull your lower ribs in. If you can't sit on your heels, then something else. Can you easy press it? Now widen your fingers. If your thumbs are backward behind the line of your little fingers, can you now bring your arms, your elbows, your hands, backs of your hands backward without losing this. Can you get the buttock muscles to work? Can you get the thigh muscles to work? Can you press down with your feet? Whatever you're going to do upside down. And don't forget to do something upside down. And if you're not going to do it now, and you can use I said the same stuff. You can pause it. If you choose not to do something upside down right now, you could put your legs up the wall for Shavasana. You could do something after. So you're working on headstand, shoulder stand. If you put your legs up the wall, there are a lot of things you can do with your legs up the wall. You could take your legs wide, flexing your ankles, bring your hands here. You'd like, maybe turn them out, but sometimes practice turning them because you're going to get these work muscles to work. You're going to figure out how to. You could do like tree pose, taking your knee toward the wall, get your long leg foot, and of course you change sides, fronts of your ankles. You could bring both feet in, bring your knees toward the wall, make stuff up. What would feel good? Alright. And then when you come back. Doing circles with your feet. Seated forward poses are good for digestion. Seated forward poses tone your kidneys. We're going to start bringing your right ankle to your left thigh. It's really easy to let this long leg fall out. So again, remembering that your hinge is here, not here. What happens here when you move? I'm going to have you start lifting your right foot up. You can hold on to your foot and your knee. If your foot came high enough, you could wrap your elbows around. And maybe this is all you get. If you collapsed, then don't even lift it up. Easy. You have to do what works for you. Any given day. Sometimes I go, I did really good on my whatever today. I did really good on my headstand, and tomorrow I try to go like, well, what happened there? If you're here, I'm going to come forward, keeping your body and your leg, the proximity together, where it was. If you need to bring your hands here, if you want to bring your hands around your foot, can you widen the little toe side of your foot so that you're working the inner thigh toward the ground? You want the tops of your arms to come backward. You need the tops of your arms to come backward if you're going to bring your spine forward, or your thoracic spine forward. Then come back. Take a few breaths. We'll do the other side, and maybe this is where you stay. This is all I got. If your right leg wants to fall out, your base is important. If it works for you to lift your foot, even just a little bit, great. Not great. If you bring your elbows around, get this long leg to turn in. Hold your shoulders down, tops of your arms come away from your ears, so that when you come forward, and if that doesn't work, I get started and go, don't go someplace it's not going to be okay while you're doing it or after you've come away from it. So if I let the tops of my arms come forward, around my back, I collapse my chest. So you want the tops of your arms to come backward so that your thoracic spine will come forward. Get your inner leg, long leg. Then inhale, coming back up. We'll bring the right ankle in. Have your arms around your knee. Again, can you roll your left leg into your right foot? So again, you're sitting up. And stay sitting up. If you wanted to, bring your left hand to your right shin. Now, if you're going to take your right hand away, you want to come from your hip to your shoulder to your wrist in a straight line, not a curved line. So if you want to come forward, it's up to you. You want this knee to stay in, you want your big toe, inner side of your right foot to stay to it. You're going to bring your upper arm to your shin. We need a prayer pose. What's happening with this one leg foot? If this right side body comes far enough, and you thought you'd like to bring this arm around, and come around with your left hand, my left leg rolled out. I lost my right sit bone. Maybe you get a strap or a towel. Come back. Do the other side. So first, maybe this is all you got. Okay, I have trouble with this long leg staying in, so you can put it against the wall. My block isn't solid enough, but it would give me some idea. It would be easy to push it away. Do it with your feet. What about this foot? If you want to bring your right hand to your left shin and come up to this left side again, you want a straight line. You want a lengthening line rather than a collapsing line. If you decide to come forward, if this left side body comes far enough forward, your hips hinge enough, you can stay here. Lift up through the back of your body, lift up through the back of your neck, back of your head, this left foot. If your left side comes around far enough and you want to come around and find that bind, then you take your hands backward, which brings your breastbone, your collarbones forward. Inhale, coming back. Let's come into easy cross-legged again. Get your outer ankle bones off the ground. Press down with your outer feet. Get your inner foot over your outer foot. Press down with your knees. We'll bring your left hand to your right leg and bring your right hand around behind you. As you lift up through the back of your neck. And you wait for the exhalation parts of your breath. If you collapse backward, you want to see if you can't. My stick. Keep your spine long. Don't lose your feet. And you bring the top of your right arm, your left arm falling in, top of your right arm falling in. Can you lift and widen your collarbones? Can they be parallel to the ground, your collarbones? And then coming back around, we'll put the other leg in front. Toes forward, outer ankle bones off the ground. This is an internal. As you bring your right hand to your left leg and your left hand comes around behind you. If this right knee went forward and your hip went forward, could you find these muscles here? It would be rolling from your left groin towards your right lower ribs. To manage your lower body. Keep your chin low, relax your jaw and your tongue. Feel with your feet, deep in the fronts of your ankles. Feel the skin on the tops of your feet. Long, slow breaths. Tops of your arms. Tops of your legs, pull the tops of your legs backward. And then coming back around. We'll lie back. Stretching yourself out. Let's interlace fingers under the back of the head. In that seated one, we kept the hips steady. And you're going to keep your shoulders steady. So as you pick your feet up, you want to walk your hips away from one at a time, away from your ribs. Lower your chin. Shoulder blades are down. Tops of your arms are away from your ears. Alright, so when you're ready and you bring your legs, start bringing your legs out towards your right side. Pull the top of your right thigh under, pull your right hip under. Now get these abdominals where it holds your the base of your breastbone, your lower ribs. Widen your little toes. Deepen the fronts of your ankles. You'd like this left shoulder to stay toward the ground, away from your ear. Don't need white knuckles. Long, slow breaths. And then you come back up. Put your feet down. Fix your back. Interlace your other index finger in front, the one you wouldn't ordinarily do. As you bring your legs in, again, you want to lengthen your lumbar spine. Flex your ankles, deepen the fronts of your ankles, widen your little toes. When you start coming out to your left side, you want to turn your face to the right. Pull the left hip under, so the right hip can come over. Otherwise, this right hip drags back. Turn your left heel toward the ground. It's happening with your right shoulder. It's happening with your face. It's happening with your breath. Can it be long and slow? When you inhale and you come back up, we'll get ready to do Shavasana. So don't forget Shavasana. Mr. Ango was you get rid of this. It's really hard to quiet your mind, to still your mind if you've got all this tension in your body. So there are a lot of reasons for the poses, for the asanas, but one of them is to get rid of the tension in your body so that you can quiet your mind. And so as you settle yourself, big toes wider than your heels. Your legs are heavy, they roll apart. No voluntary muscular action required. Chin lower than your forehead. If you have something that works for you, you do that. That keeps your mind steady, quiet. Eyes are softly closed. Your tongue and your teeth, your jaw and your tongue are relaxed. If you want, I would have you imagine that your breath can come in and out through the soles of your feet. Your first breath, your first inhalation would come as far as your ankles. And then your exhalation always goes way beyond the soles of your feet. The next breath perhaps comes in a little bit further. It's like the tide coming in on the sand. And it always goes way back out into the depths of the ocean. And you just keep working your way up through. Go slow. When you get to the level of your hands, your arms are going to be in these waves of relaxation, but you're not going to come past your jawline, but you're still down by your feet. And if it doesn't work for you, don't struggle with it. Find another way to keep track of your breath. In the poses that we've done, you've released a lot of toxins that were stuck in there, so your energy is moving. You can imagine that as you bring your breath up, it gathers up that stuff and washes it way out beyond the soles of your feet. Like the tide coming in washes the debris, washes the seaweed away from the last storm. Cleansing breaths. Feel how your breath has changed from that first one that came to your ankles to wherever you are now. Always your exhalation goes way, way beyond your feet. Relax your tongue. And after a while, you can start directing your breath. Just see what it does. Feel it. On one of your exhalations, turn your eyes down. Feels like it brings your frontal brain forward. And you know where you are. You know where your legs are, your arms are. When you slowly begin to move, maybe you curl your fingers, you curl your toes, maybe you stretch it out big. You finish by bending your knees, bringing your right arm up beside your ear, bend your elbow. So when you roll onto your right side, you rest your head on your arm. Feel those first few breaths in your back and your sides. Alright. Happy Tuesday. Stay. Miss you all.